Hello, I'm Tony from Ding and welcome to another episode of Thinking Tools. In this episode, we're looking at a tool called the Hidden Curriculum and how it can guide learning designers in the creation of effective learning experiences. Now, the main idea of the Hidden Curriculum is this. Successful learning often involves the learner having to achieve more than just the intended learning outcomes. They also have to navigate the 3 R's in the classroom, which in this context are rules, routines, and regulations. But if the learner doesn't know what these are, they may be unfairly penalised. And worse still, some learners may be penalised more than others. So imagine this example. A learner walks into a classroom for a lesson on data management. Now she's got several tattoos on her arms, an eyebrow piercing and a denim jacket with graffiti on it. She's really interested in the subject and keen to learn, but the teacher doesn't like the way she looks. He has his own rules about what a good learner looks like, even though he hasn't explained these to his students. So when the teacher comes to assess the girl's work, he marks her more harshly because of how she dresses. But he didn't tell his students that how to dress was an important rule in the learning experience and would affect their overall mark. So his bias is an example of the hidden curriculum in action, and it's why the hidden curriculum has been defined as the unspoken or implicit values, behaviours, attitudes, procedures and norms that exist in an educational setting. And the key word here is implicit. If a teacher doesn't openly explain all the criteria they're using to make judgments about what good learning looks like, there's a high risk that some students' achievements will be adversely affected. So what does this mean for learning design? Well, when a learning designer is planning a learning experience, they play a crucial role in determining what's included in the curriculum and what's left out. So during the planning process, the learning designer will often have several conversations with the subject matter expert to find out what the curriculum needs to include. These conversations are an ideal opportunity to identify implicit biases and hidden factors that would benefit from being made transparent to learners. So let's return to the previous example and imagine the learning designer is planning the course on data management. During the planning process, the subject matter expert reveals that a successful data manager will need to demonstrate commercial awareness, professionalism, and ability to collaborate with other stakeholders in the business. Now, if the learning designer develops a curriculum which focuses solely on the technical aspects of data management, it will create 2 risks. The first is the risk of bias in assessment, where the teacher judges learners on their commercial awareness, professionalism, and ability to collaborate, even though these factors haven't been taught. And the second is the risk of not preparing learners effectively for the rules, regulations, and routines of the workplace. So, what can learning designers do to navigate the hidden curriculum? Well, there's a great tip in Bob Bates' book Learning Theory Simplified, which is this. Start by making a list of all the subject-specific content that learners need to learn, then make a list of all the other factors that are important for learners to learn but which aren't part of the planned curriculum. Then briefly describe the benefits and risks of including these factors in the planned curriculum, and then revise your intended learning outcomes accordingly. That's it. If you found this video useful, hit subscribe and get some more thinking tools in your learning design toolbox.